Hi everybody, it's Deborah from PeopleLovingAnimals.com. Thanks so much for tuning in and watching my video today. Today's video is called How to Stop a Dog from Being Aggressive. It's going to be a pretty thorough video today because we're going to talk about several things. We're going to talk about some common misconceptions about dog aggression. We're going to talk about the actual causes of dog aggression. We're going to be talking about dogs being aggressive towards other dogs and dogs being aggressive toward people. And I'm also going to be giving you several resources to get some extra help with this issue. So hopefully by the end of today's video, you're going to have some really good guidance on getting your dog's aggression solved. So again, thanks so much for tuning in and watching the video. Let's go ahead and get started. If you have been here before, you know I have a website called PeopleLovingAnimals.com. I have my website and also obviously this YouTube channel, and I do videos several times a month all about the care and health and training of dogs and cats. So if you have a pet that you would like to receive continuous help with, I would love it if you would go ahead and subscribe. I would also appreciate it if you would share the channel with your friends and family who have a pet because they might appreciate the help too. And if you find today's video to be helpful, I would appreciate it so much if you would give it a like. It helps YouTubers a lot when you do that. So we've got a lot to cover, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be using this article on my website called How to Stop a Dog from Being Aggressive, kind of to guide us through today's video. I'm going to give you the link to this article in the description box of the video, and I will give you the link to the resources that we're going to be talking about in the video. I'll give you everything you need, all the links in the description box, okay? Now, the best way to learn how to stop a dog from being aggressive is to understand why it's happening to begin with. And that is true of any dog behavior issue. Whether you have a dog, a puppy, even a cat or a kitten, the best way to get it solved is to figure out why they're doing it, right? So that's kind of what we're going to be focusing on today. And I think by the end of the video, you're going to really have a much better understanding of dog aggression, what it is, and why it happens. Now, in this video, we're going to be discussing the 3 most common misconceptions about dog aggression. We're going to talk about the actual causes for dog aggression, and then, like I said, dog aggression towards people and against other dogs. Now, first, the 3 common misconceptions about the 3 most common misconceptions about dog aggression are: number 1, that aggressive dogs are mostly males. Not true. Number 2, that large dogs are the most aggressive. Not true. I had a little wiener dog named Maggie that was one of the most aggressive dogs I've ever seen in my life, and she was just a little wiener dog. So number 2 is not true. Number 3, that certain breeds are more aggressive. Again, that is not necessarily true. Now, I'm getting this information from professional dog trainer and behavioral specialist Doggy Dan. If you've been here before watching my dog training and puppy training videos, you've heard me talk about Doggy Dan. He is a professional dog trainer, behavioral specialist. He owns the dog training website called theonlinedogtrainer.com. I'm going to give you some links to Doggy Dan in the description. And he has a blog post called 3 Common Misconceptions About Dog Aggression, where he talks in detail exactly why these 3 statements are false. I really recommend that you go ahead and click on that and read that article, because Doggy Dan gives some really, really good information in that article about understanding dog aggression. So those things are not true. So let's just get past that. What actually does cause dog aggression? First, you should be aware that there is a psychological process that can occur in a dog that goes all the way back to their primal instinctual fight or flight instincts. It can cause a whole lot of chemicals to be released in their body, such as cortisol, adrenaline, and noradrenaline. These hormones send your dog into kind of an overdrive state where they cannot control their emotions. And if you've gone so far as to get on YouTube to try to get help with dog aggression, you probably know what I'm talking about. The dog has gone berserk, and no matter how much you yell at him or pull back on the leash or whatever, he's out of control, okay? And you need to understand that there's a physiological reason for that, why the dog cannot get a hold of himself, okay? I would suggest, I'm going to give you a link in the description box for Doggy Dan's training on aggression, and there's a video in there with Doggy Dan talking about this, and the fact that they have this chemical overload that happens once their aggression is triggered. All these chemicals come up and they literally cannot control their emotions. Okay, so it's just really important for you to understand that part of dog aggression. Okay, now the most important thing about your knowing that, in my opinion, is that you now understand how important it is that you solve whatever is triggering the aggression, because once they're already in that aggressive state, you can't stop it. So you need to learn how to stop what is triggering the aggression, what is causing it. Okay. But again, I'm going to give you a link to that aggression training, and I want you to listen to Doggy Dan's video specifically about that. But first, let's get into discussing the biggest reasons why a dog will become aggressive. One of them is a lack of guidance. Dogs need to be taught what sort of behavior is acceptable and what is not going to be tolerated. And you know, if you've ever seen a mother dog with her puppies, you know that the mother teaches that. She will teach that dog what is not appropriate, right? Well, they do need to be taught. Ideally, this training should happen when they are a puppy, and it should continue throughout the dog's life. The most important factor in providing guidance for your dog is to make sure that they know that you are in charge. If they see you as the pack leader, they will instinctively follow your guidance on how to behave. We're going to talk more about that in the video today. The second reason dogs can become aggressive is because they have a lack of boundaries. Just like children, dogs need boundaries. If they don't have boundaries, they can become overwhelmed, anxious, overexcited, and behavioral issues and aggression are often the result. It's also important to establish boundaries to teach your dog that you are the leader, that you are the provider. Again, once your dog sees you in this way, he'll follow your lead, he'll take direction from you, and he won't feel like he has to be the one in control. Okay, so it kind of, once he accepts that you are in control, then he knows he doesn't have to be, and he will relax. Okay, again, we're going to talk more about this. Hang with me. The third reason dogs can become aggressive is a lack of exercise or stimulation. Sometimes, don't we overanalyze the crap out of everything? You know, not that everything we talk about in today's video is absolutely true and you need to know about it, but really, sometimes don't we just get to all the complicated things without even thinking about the simple things, you know? So one of the simple reasons would be a lack of exercise and stimulation. Pent-up energy or lack of stimulation can cause a dog to become aggressive. They need to have an outlet to release tension so their energy doesn't build up and cause them to misbehave or become aggressive. Make sure that your dog is getting enough exercise, at least 30 minutes a day. I think somebody's mowing the lawn. I'm sorry about that. We're probably going to have some noise. Now, I'm going to recommend to you Doggy Dan's dog training called the Dog Calming Code. I'm going to give you a link to it in the description box. It's step-by-step instructions on how to calm your dog down by letting him know that you're in charge. I may pause the video for a minute because if that mowing gets too loud, the lawn mowing company is here and I can hear them coming along with the weed eater. So if it gets too loud, I'm just going to pause the video and then we'll start back up when they go by the window. They're coming around the side of the house here. I can hear them. I'm going to give you a link to Doggy's dog training called the Dog Calming Code. Doggy Dan has developed this training specifically made to stop dog aggression. According to Doggy Dan, if you want to understand how to stop your dog from being aggressive, you must first realize that your dog is making his decisions because he has not received proper guidance. He doesn't understand his boundaries. He's trying to release pent-up energy, or all three of these things. As we discussed, your dog is going to experience a rush of chemicals in his body when he becomes aggressive, making it nearly impossible to calm himself down and listen to you. So I do recommend that you go ahead and check out Doggy Dan's The Dog Calming Code. I'll give you a link because Doggy Dan will teach you how to have a calm dog. Like I said, this is a specific dog training program specifically geared toward stopping dog aggression. So I'm really happy to be able to recommend that to you. Now, dogs being aggressive towards other dogs. Now, here's a breakdown of some of the reasons why your dog is being aggressive to other dogs. Now, he might be aggressive, tending towards aggression because of the reasons that we've just talked about. But there are some specific reasons why he might become aggressive toward other dogs. The first one is dominance. Now, you might have already guessed this, depending on the personality of your dog. Dogs by nature, whether they're in the wild or domesticated, follow pecking orders. The dominant dog takes the lead, the submissive dog follows. That's how a dog pack works. That's how a dog's brain works, okay? Most dogs are able to sort out who's the leader and who's the follower without any violence or aggression. But if you have two dogs that are dominant, they both want to be dominant, that's when they'll fight. That's when they'll be aggressive toward each other. And if neither dog will submit to the other, it can become dangerous. It can be a pretty aggressive dog fight. Now, we're going to keep talking about this, but there's a short interruption in my article, so I'm going to take a minute to just invite you to sign up for my dog lovers email list. If you sign up for that list, I'll give you a link in the description box. You're going to get an email every week or so from peoplelovinganimals.com, and it will be all about dogs, health, care, and training of dogs and puppies. I think you'll find it valuable. It'll be either a blog post or an article or a video. You get them about every 5 or 7 days. And when you subscribe to that using the link in the description box, I'll give you a free copy of Doggy Dan's basic dog training guide. It's called My Everyday Dog Training Tools, and it's by Doggy Dan. It's an ebook, and I'll be happy to give that to you as a free gift if you want to go ahead and subscribe to the Dog Lovers email list. Now let's keep going. We're talking about two dominant dogs fighting. The solution is for you to show your dog that you are the dominant one. He doesn't get to pick. He doesn't get to decide he's going to be the dominant one, and he doesn't get to argue with another dog over whether that dog's going to be the dominant one or he's going to be, no, you're the dominant one, okay? So you need to show your dog that he is not going to be the dominant dog. You are going to be the dominant one. You are going to be the pack leader. Now, we're not talking about violence here. We're not talking about being aggressive with your dog. We're not talking about overpowering your dog. Doggy Dan will teach you how to do this in a very kind and gentle way, and it really has nothing to do with you being aggressive with your dog. It has nothing to do with that, okay? There are steps that you can take, step by step, actual steps that you take that shows your dog very clearly that you are the pack leader, that you are the dominant one, and Doggy Dan is going to teach those to you. I'm going to share that information with you that you're going to be able to go and learn that stuff, okay? Now, when you effectively communicate to your dog that you are the one in charge, he'll have no reason to try to establish himself as the dominant dog with other dogs. He has no reason to try to establish himself as dominant, either with you or with another dog or with the guy next door. Do you understand? It's your job for you to show your dog, communicate to him in a way that the dog can understand that you are going to be the dominant one, okay? So one of the biggest causes of dog-on-dog aggression is dominant. They're both trying to take that spot, okay? The second reason that a dog might be aggressive toward another dog is out of fear. They will act aggressively due to fear. If a new dog is introduced into your dog's environment, your dog might become frightened that their territory is being invaded. This is quite common with shelter dogs or dogs that have had to fend for themselves. I had a little wiener dog named Taz. If you've been here before, you've heard me talk about her. I adopted her from a shelter, and when I went to pick her up, there were so many dogs in this shelter. So you hear the expression, it's a dog eat dog world. That's kind of how it was, like every dog for himself. And so I didn't really have a problem with her with being aggressive, because once I brought her home, she was the only dog, so she didn't have anybody to fight with. But I'm absolutely certain if I would have had another dog at home when I brought Taz home, Taz probably would have been aggressive with those other dogs, because she had to be, you know, she had to kind of fight for her food and stuff. So again, it's very common with shelter dogs. If your dog has a fear about the food being limited, or that their safe space is being taken over by another dog, or that your attention is being stolen from them, you know, by another dog, they'll become aggressive to protect what they have, okay? What's the solution? Again, if you take appropriate steps to establish yourself as a competent provider, you're the one providing, you're the one in charge, you're responsible for how much food there is, you know, that sort of thing, your dog can relax and know that he can count on you to make sure that his needs are met. Dogs who live in a house where the owner is a strong leader can relax and not feel like they have to fight, okay? The third reason why a dog might become aggressive with other dogs is due to stress. Stress of any kind, such as a sudden change in the household, a recent move, or even a simple thing like the doorbell ringing, can result in your dog's stress levels building up. Again, that's going to trigger that aggression. That's going to trigger those hormones. They have a hard time calming down once they become stressed out. All that built up stress has to be released, and your dog will often redirect it onto another dog. Just like kids, if there's stuff going on in the house and mom and dad are fighting and like all this stuff is going on, before you know it, your kids are fighting. They're not living in a calm atmosphere. Whatever's going on, something is going on. The kids are upset or they're confused or something has changed. Maybe the family has just moved or whatever. And often the kids will start fighting. They'll turn on each other. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing with dogs, okay? And it's because of stress. The solution is to realize the impact that stress can have in your home and on your dog, and do whatever you can to create a calm environment so that your dog can relax. Now, obviously, you can't do anything about the fact that maybe you're moving. The dog's going to be upset because you moved. Well, just be aware of how that's affecting your dog. Just be aware. And if your dog is suddenly becoming aggressive, take a look around at the environment. What has changed here? What is going on? What is triggering this? Most likely it's fear-based. The dog's nervous about something. Okay, so you always just want to be aware. What might be stressing your dog out? What might be triggering them? Okay. The fourth reason why a dog might be aggressive toward another dog is simply a lack of training. A lack of training can be the reason why your dog is aggressive. The lack of training can include a lack of socializing your dog. That's really important when you have a puppy. Not teaching your dog basic commands like how to come when he's called and teach him how to remain calm when there's another dog around. It can also involve a failure to set boundaries or rules for your dog, such as not jumping up on you. You got to teach boundaries, teach rules, right? If your dog isn't clear on the rules and boundaries, he'll become confused and he'll start arguing with the other dogs about what's appropriate. If you have a dog that hasn't been taught to not jump on people, that hasn't been taught that he doesn't have to have a stroke every time the doorbell rings, if he hasn't been taught that it's okay for somebody to ride by on their bike, if a dog hasn't been taught all these things, then you're going to have a dog fighting with the other dogs. Like, do you know what I mean? Again, it's all having to do with stress and most often having to do with a lot of fear, no matter how ferocious a dog might look when they're aggressive, you obviously have to have a healthy respect for that. You don't want to be injured. You don't want to be bitten. However, try to have compassion and realize that, number one, the reason why the dog is being aggressive might very well be fear-based. Okay, so try to have compassion for the dog, for the fact that the dog might be feeling afraid, might be feeling threatened. Okay, and the other thing is, if you haven't taught your dog that you're the pack leader, then he thinks he has to be. And for most dogs, that's a stressful job. They think they have to be in charge. So, if you're walking your dog on the leash down the sidewalk and another dog comes along and your dog starts acting like a complete nut job and starts snarling and carrying on, like I said, no matter how ferocious he looks doing it, try to have compassion for the fact that he thinks he has to protect you and him from that other dog. And it's a stressor for him. Oh, I could go on and on. Oh, I hope you understand. I hope you understand what I'm talking about there. Now, the solution is to take the necessary steps to train your dog to listen to you, to come when called, to behave calmly around other dogs. And I'm going to give you a terrific resource. It's from Doggy Dan. It's a blog post that's written by Doggy Dan all about dog-on-dog aggression. And I think it's going to help you so much if you're specifically having a problem with your dog getting along with other dogs. I'm really happy to be able to give you that article from Doggy Dan, Dog on Dog Aggression Solved, it's called. I'll give it to you in the description box, okay? Now, dog aggression towards people. Well, I think you're catching on to a theme here, right? I mean, we have kind of a theme here in today's video. I hope that you're starting to try to, understand, like, what's going on with this? We've thoroughly discussed all the reasons why dogs become aggressive. We've talked about Doggy Dan's programs on providing solutions that will help you control dog aggression. He'll give these to you in step by step. Read the blog post that I'm giving you. Check out the training that I'm giving you. Perhaps your dog's unpredictability has caused you to be afraid to have people over for fear someone might actually be injured, or worse, perhaps your dog has even become aggressive towards you. Dog aggression towards their owners is serious, and it can become dangerous. Again, you can calm your dog's emotions with a very straightforward yet simple, powerful exercises that Doggy Dan teaches in his program called the Dog Calming Code. If you're concerned about safety and you feel like the matter is urgent, all right, let me repeat that. We're talking about your dog being aggressive with you. If you feel like this is urgent and you're concerned about your safety or the safety of your family members, I'm strongly recommending that you go to the link for the Dog Calming Code, that you get it. By the way, it's only $37. Now, some of the things I'm giving you are free. Doggy Dan's blog post on the misconceptions about dog aggression, that's it's his blog post, it's free. The article that he wrote about dog-on-dog aggression, that's a free resource to understand dog-on-dog aggression. The Dog Calming Code when you go there, it gives you a lot of explanation of what you're trying to accomplish, but the program itself is only $37, okay? So it's not anything expensive, and again, it's step-by-step training. And it does have a 100% money-back guarantee, too, if it doesn't work, okay? Now, the bottom line on how to solve dog aggression, you have to be the pack leader. That is really what it boils down to. The most important concept to grasp is that your dog must look at you as the pack leader. You need to convince him that you are the decision maker so that he knows that he doesn't have to be. Only then can he relax and not become aggressive towards you, towards people, or towards other dogs. Once you have convinced your dog that you are the pack leader, he'll start to take notice of how you are behaving. Instead of just suddenly becoming aggressive, he won't just react. He'll start to look and see what you're doing. He'll look at you to see how you're reacting. Remember, dogs are pack animals and they follow the leader. Okay, so you're going to start noticing things. Like, for example, if you're walking down the street and another dog comes along, and before you did the pack leader training, your dog would start lunging and stuff at this other dog, you're going to see them start to change and say, okay, wait a minute, she's the decision maker. And they're going to look up at you and you're going to notice them. Like, they'll see the other dog, and instead of reacting, they'll look up at you, because instinctively the dog will follow whoever he thinks the leader is. So once you communicate to him and he understands that you are the leader, he'll look to you for guidance. So when the doorbell rings, he's not going to, like I said, have a stroke and, lunge at the door, bark like an idiot, carry on when the doorbell rings. Doorbell rings, he's going to look at you and see how you react. Do you see? Now, obviously, and Doggy Dan will teach you this in the programs that I'm giving you, you need to demonstrate. You need to set the example. You need to remain calm. If another dog approaches you on the walk, take a look at your dog. His little face is going to be looking up at you. He wants to know, what do we do? You need to show the dog. You need to set an example for your dog. You remain calm when another dog approaches. You remain calm when somebody rides by the house on their bike. You remain calm when somebody comes in the yard. You remain calm when the doorbell rings. You are calm when people come over. Do you see what I mean? So it's kind of like a two-step process, where the first step is that you communicate to your dog effectively so that he can understand that you're the pack leader, and then you act like the pack leader. You set the tone, right? You set the tone. Again, I strongly recommend Doggy Dan's dog training. I'm going to give you a link. He actually has the Dog Calming Code, and then he also has an actual training program specifically about dog aggression. It's all basically the same concepts, but it's two different trainings. I'm going to give you the link to both of them. The Dog Calming Code is more calming your dog down. And again, if you feel like you are in an urgent situation here with your dog's aggression, go to the Dog Calming Code code first, because those are the exercises that calm your dog down, okay? The dog aggression training program is more in general, teaching your dog that you're the pack leader and doing those exercises and everything. Do you see what I mean? That's the kind of the other piece of the puzzle. So if you can decide which one, but you know what? It doesn't cost you anything to go in and check them out. And just by clicking on some of these links of Doggy Dan's and doing some reading and listen to his videos, he has some nice videos on there that you're going to be able to listen to and really have a professional dog trainer and behavioral specialist talking with you about this. And I'm just really happy to provide that for you, because I really believe in it. And you know, I think dog aggression is pretty serious. You know, it's a pretty scary thing. And the other issue is, you know, everybody's like mad at the dog, you know, oh, the dog's being aggressive, oh, the dog is showing his teeth. Well, I'm of the mindset that I feel sorry for the dog too, because I understand that if a dog is being aggressive, their feelings that are causing that are bad. Do you know what I mean? You know, I don't know. It's just, I have a lot of compassion for the dog, because now that I have a very complete understanding of why they're being aggressive, it makes me feel sorry for them that they're being put in that position where they feel like they have to be aggressive. Okay, so I hope that this has helped. Now, always remember that dogs are very highly intelligent animals. However they are behaving, whatever they are doing, however they are reacting, it's for a reason that makes sense in their head. And I believe that it is our job as pet owners to understand why our pets do what they do, so that we can figure out how to solve it. I hope that this video has helped you to understand why your dog becomes aggressive, why it's important for you to relieve your dog from the responsibility of being the pack leader, and how learning to some dog calming techniques and pack leader training can really help. Feel free to comment in the suggestion box or in the comment box of this video if you would like to come back and report and let people know if you checked out Doggy Dan's blog post, if you checked out his training. Come back and comment and let other people know who are going to be watching this video in the future how it worked out for you and how it worked out for your dog. And in the meantime, if you have any other suggestions that you have found helpful when handling your dog's aggression, please come back to the video and comment, because you know there's going to be a lot of people over the next several years watching this video, and we want to try to help each other. You know, let's help each other. A couple of things before we go. I donate to animal charities. If you've been here before, you know this. I do peoplelovinganimals.com as my job. And the way that I do that as my job is I am what's called an affiliate marketer. I become an affiliate for products and services that I can recommend on my website. I research products, I research services, I choose the ones that I want to recommend, and then I apply to that company to be an affiliate, and they give me an affiliate link, and whenever anybody purchases their product using my link, I get a small commission. I donate 10% of those commissions to animal charities, and if you go to the homepage of peoplelovinganimals.com, you'll see a list of the charities that I donate to. So let's just go ahead and wrap up the video. Thank you so much for watching till the end. I hope that I've been able to help you with this, and I'm really excited for you to go ahead and check out all the links that I'm giving you for Doggy Dan. Let me just recap what I'm giving you in the description box. I'm going to give you a link to the article we used for the video today. I'm going to give you a link to Doggy Dan's blog post about the 3 misconceptions about why dogs are aggressive. I'm going to give you the link to Doggy Dan's dog calming code. Again, if you feel your situation is urgent, I recommend that first, because that's going to help you to get the dog calmed down. I'm also going to give you a link to Doggy Dan's blog post called Dog on Dog Aggression Solved. And I'm also going to give you a link to Doggy Dan's dog aggression training. That's the one where as soon as you open it, you're going to see a video from Doggy Dan where he talks for several minutes all about dog aggression, and that's when he's explaining all the chemicals and the hormones and stuff. It's a very informative video, and it's free. All you got to do is click the link. Doggy Dan will come up in the video, and you're going to be able to see him on that one. Okay, I'm also going to give you the link in the description box of for you to go ahead and sign up for the Dog Lovers email list. And I'd love to have you on board there. I'd love to have you on board as a subscriber. And again, if you've watched this far, please give the video a like and let YouTube know that it was helpful. Okay, so again, thanks so much. And please feel free to reach out to me if I can help you with this issue any further. I'm happy to do it. Again, my name is Deborah, and my website is peoplelovinganimals.com. Thanks again. Bye-bye.